And welcome to the woods. I thought I'd just bring you guys along to a walk with me. Some of you may remember this tree from some of my other posts and from the post from the Oracle of Delphi as well, when she was here in April last year. This is one of what I like to see as a beacon tree. So one of the tallest and strongest that connects both the earth and the cosmos. And you might say, well, all of them do, and you wouldn't be wrong. And I will do another video on beacon trees because I find them absolutely fascinating. The energies are just extraordinary. But as I said, I'll come on to that later. One of the things is that a few people were asking is when you go and hug a tree, or you want to ground. Sorry, this isn't going to be the most eloquent video probably, because when I'm out here it is very connecting and my energies go elsewhere. But one of the things that I do in order to respect a tree, because as much as they've got their field, we've got ours. And this is one of my most favourite trees in the forest. Now you may or may not be able to hear the saws going off in the background. And it took me a minute to compose myself, because actually in this, well, here, they're chopping a lot of it down. And it just took me by surprise when I walked in today, and I haven't been here for a few weeks, just how much they have taken down. And from looking around me now, it isn't as hopefully touched this side, but if you go up the top of that pass, it's devastating. Now a question would be, is that I felt the forest felt very different as I came into it, but that was probably because there was a great big lorry right at the gates. And now I was asking myself, is this sadness for me, or is this coming from the forest itself? And I got that it's from the forest itself. There is an element of my sadness, because as much as obviously cutting down the trees and we do obviously need the wood and things for all sorts, paper, etc. This is an ancient woodland, and now I only recently discovered that after coming here for so long. Now I'm going to come back to that particular tree in a moment. But one of the things as well is that within the time that I was here back in April last year, as I said, I've been walking here for a long time now, many years. And it was only when the two of us were together that I actually saw the mound, which I'll take you to in a second. And there's a few photographs of where we've actually captured some of our beautiful elementals and our dragon. And obviously with ancient woodland there is that connection. Now I believe that down here in Kent there are ley lines, of course, but they're not necessarily as strong. And if there is anyone who wishes to inform me or correct me, please do, as I would be very, very interested to get your take on it. So this beautiful tree here, and obviously we're on in bulk at the moment, so the 1st and the 2nd of February, so where we're coming out of the cold times of winter, and things are starting to lighten up. We're starting to see the first buds, we're starting to see the first leaves, and dare I say greenery as well. And again, maybe I'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit. So one of the things that I wanted to do is just show you and share with you what I would usually do. And now when I do come out into the woods, is that you bring sweets, or you bring a coin, or you bring fruit. Now remember, if it's a coin, you have to bury it. So that's why fruit and sweets. Sometimes, you know those, I think they used to call them like space raiders. They were like a little like soft sugar on the top and the bottom with the powdery stuff in the middle. They love those. So that's just to say thank you to the tree and say thank you to the elementals as well. So you stand so far away and you start connecting from here. You start connecting to the tree from about here. Whether you keep your eyes open or closed. And then you can say, again, using your words, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to say, but you put your focus, you put your intention as connecting to that tree. Be aware also of the roots around you, because some of the older trees tend to have quite thick and deep roots. So you don't necessarily want to be treading on those before you've actually started connecting in. So, and this is where I think on the video it shows me falling flat on my arse. But I've hopefully got to know these woods a little bit, even though it is absolutely covered in leaves. Now I do really apologise for, as I said, the if you can hear, I don't know if the phone's picked it up, all the soaring in the background. So, and also you might be able to see, and I'm trying to walk as upright and slight as possible, that mound there. And now I see it. As I said, I've been walking here for ages and I've never seen it until such time as I was with in the woods with Lady D. So, and you can see the mound and the tail, or the long piece, whether you call that the head, the back, the neck, doesn't matter. So I was hoping to there we go, have a tree that's got, as you can see, hopefully, if I'm pointing the camera in the right way, a tree with large roots. Can you see? So as I said, when you go up to the tree, just be a little bit mindful. And you'll know in yourself. You can try like a little yes, no. Oh, I've just spotted these beautiful, beautiful mushrooms. Look at those. Aren't they stunning? I'll come back and get a picture of those in a second. And sometimes if you want to use a pendulum and get a yes and a no, sometimes you may want to sort of not creep, that sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Move a little bit closer to the tree. See what you notice as well. See what you notice on the bark. See what you notice. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to well up because the two that I normally go and see, I can't get to today, which is very, very sad. Or I probably could, but there's way too many trucks and things. And if I was to walk around the other way, it'll take me a long time, which I will do on another video. But as I said, you can then walk up a little bit more and a little bit more. And then once, oops, see, haha, nearly fell. You get to that point. Oh, look, we got a little fairy tunnel. See, a little fairy tunnel. How beautiful. And now you might be saying, Azria, but you've gone to about 2 or 3 trees here. And that's okay. I just wanted to keep the video moving as well for you guys. So I'm going to go back up to this one here. But again, you might see one and go, oh yeah, I'd like to go and say hello to that one or hug that one. But actually, when you get there, doesn't quite have the same feeling. See what you can see in there. As I said, this video is a little bit all over the place. Oh, I've got a pair of lips on there, look. I got an eye and a mouth. Hello, beautiful. You can start by just placing your hands. That's all. And you can see how dirty my coat is from these walks. Just place your hands. Ooh. Or wherever you feel. And whether you're like me, whether you say things out loud when you talk to the tree out loud, or whether you're saying it telepathically, that's fine. And you can say, can I come closer? Yes. And then you can just, I need to move that out of the way, and give it a nice big hug. Sorry, I just had to take a quick look there, because as I hugged the tree, my phone took a photograph. So that'll be interesting to see once we get back. Because remember, you're connected with the palms of your hands, which is your strongest chakra points, your strongest energy points, the soles of your feet. Unfortunately, I'm not necessarily wearing earth shoes or anything like that, and I would say take my shoes off, but I don't want this to be a too long a video of me taking my shoes off. And whether you place your head on there, your forehead, doesn't matter. Yeah, see, look, there's the tractor. So we're just going to have a walk down. Oh, no, before we take a walk down. How very rude of me. I just step back. Oh, there's another person. And say thank you to the tree. And sometimes, if you want, what you can do is, if you've got any worries, any fears, any anxieties, just ask the tree to take it away. And that was me dropping my phone. And say thank you. Okay. Yeah, we're still recording. We're good. Where are we going to head? We're going to head down there. And there might be people saying, oh, well, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, and why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? You know what? And that's perfectly fine. That is absolutely fine, because you know what? Sometimes I do spend more time and do more of a what would may be perceived as a more of a ritual. Some people just walk up to a tree and hug it. Some people oh, and I did, when I dropped my phone, by the way, I put down a sweet that was in my pocket. And I did put down a sweet that was in my pocket to say thank you. Or sometimes you may feel that that energy exchange was enough. But I am quite, as I said, sad, because you can just hear all of those chainsaws cutting down the trees. But I just really wanted to come here today, come to this spot, come to this connection. Because, you see, whatever people do, I say cutting down the trees, the land is there. You can't take away the land. I've just been asked to bend down here for a minute. So one of the things I ask or suggest in doing, if you've made it through this far into the video, is to just see what else you can see without me falling over. See what you can see. Ooh. Hello, tree. I see a face in the distance. Just on that cut log over there. Hello. Hello, beautiful. Now, I could be right, I could be wrong. It could be that, and I will do some research. As I said, they've been starting to cut down a few of the trees for a long time. But I didn't realise to this extent. So I will go and find out to see whether it's because of ash rot or something like that. Whether it's they've sold it and going to be building on it. Look. It's just mad shapes. See, look, beautiful mound. As I said, whether it's because they've sold it, and they're building yet more flats or houses, and it may be being called Forest View, which they need to be fecking careful of because there won't be much bloody forest left. I think it's called a woods, actually. There's a difference between a woods and a forest. I don't think this is quite classed as a forest, actually, so I need to use my language. Now, see if you can see the energy of what I'm walking on top of at the moment. I'll just stop and listen. Because when you come into the woods, you can actually start saying that I'm here. And for those high vibrational beings, oh look, there's a man in the tree. Can you guys see that? There's a green man in that tree up there. Yeah, I see you. Thank you. The eyes and the nose. How beautiful. I'll tell you what, this bit of kit, it's a thing you put around your neck, is fantastic. So even though you got all that noise going on, you can still hear the birds. You ever get that feeling that you're being watched? I always get that when I'm here. But if people do see things or hear things within this video, please feel free to share.